At milestones like these, people always say, I can't believe it's so long since we started. Where's the time gone? And yes, I feel exactly like that. When as chairman I've reviewed each individual year of ours at AGM time, there have been some when I've thought we haven't done much this year. But when you look back over what we've done in 25 years as a whole, it's actually a lot. There's just myself and Jean, our treasurer. Where's Jean? Oh, there she is. Who've been here continually since the very beginning. So first of all, I'd like to thank Jean, not only for her meticulous and deadly efficient accounting, but also for so many other things. Recording interviews, maintaining friendly contact with various elderly supporters who are far away or housebound, proofreading, applying for grants, and reminding me to do things time let slip or forgotten. She's very good at that. Uh, Barbara Foster, who's not here, we invited her, she's not come, was another important member of our original team and served as our minutes secretary for a long time. As did Althea, who's already here. She served after Barbara, and thank you very much for popping along, Althea. Over 25 years, our membership and direction is bound to have evolved, and we've sadly lost some very good local researchers and historians. I won't prolong this speech too much by naming all of our past members, but Richard Heath, who was our vice chair from the outset and until he died, was of course one of them. He was master of anecdotes and always going off at tangents, but always interesting and entertaining, as most of us remember. Equally important were Howard and Lindsay Usher of the Woodlands. Howard and Lindsay came to Melbourne in the late 1970s, and neither of them had roots here, but their contribution to local history was massive and insightful and scholarly too, and I don't think is fully appreciated. Then there was Roy Dunnicliffe, Richard Hudson and Gordon Foddy, who apart from being knowledgeable local people, were also a lot of fun. Roy was very good-natured, always on hand to transport and staff displays in the times when we used to take our exhibitions on tour during the early years. Richard, if we're honest, might be grumpy sometimes, but he more than made up for it by making sure we had a drink, at the very least excuse. And Gordon was always bursting to tell us of the latest humorous tales he'd unearthed in the old newspapers, and he copied lots of interesting old photographs from all kinds of sources. Unfortunately, Gordon had a squirrel-like tendency to forget where his nuggets had come from or where they'd gone. We began to flag a bit in the midterm of our 25 years, mainly because we'd lost some key members and also because I was no longer able to spare the time needed to promote and develop the group adequately. During those years, the contributions from Adrian Earp, Barry Thomas and Sue Webster were especially valuable in keeping us alive, and between them they took charge of several of our annual projects, including the books on Melbourne men who died in the First World War and also the pubs book. Closer to the present, I'd like to give special thanks to our secretary, Teresa, who's been pivotal in recruiting some very able new members to our group and seeing us into a new phase where we can focus more on developing our archive resource. Teresa not only takes our minutes, but has also been the key coordinator of several recent exhibitions, including this one. We've been lucky to have lots of help from incidental volunteers who chip in when needed. Among others, these include Keith Foster, who did so much scanning and IT work for us in our early years, Kate Hewlett and David Calvert, who've checked our annual accounts, Mick Shaw, dishing out endless tea and cake at our exhibitions, this weekend no exception, and also doing DIY in our archive room, thank you Mick. And I'd also like to thank the friends who helped Penny with serving the teas and the lunches. Penny's given me so much help and support along the way that it's hardly appropriate to refer to her as an incidental volunteer. She's boosted our coffers and enhanced our events enormously, and I'm very grateful to her personally, as well as on behalf of the group. I'd also like to thank organisations who collaborated with us at various points along the way, including the parish, district and county councils, the Melbourne Assembly Rooms, the Melbourne Estate, the National Forest Company, East Midlands Airport, the Village Voice and Derby Local Studies Library. With lists, you always run the dangerous risk of missing somebody important, so I apologise right now if I have. It's really rewarding that we've had such good turnouts for our events in recent years, especially yesterday, and rewarding that there's such an obvious appetite for our work. I hope we can continue to satisfy that appetite for many more years to come. In hindsight, the cake seems a bit superfluous in a building that's been rammed with cake all weekend. Uh, all I'd say is that you don't have to give donations for a bit of this one. So thanks for listening, and please celebrate with us over another piece of cake. Thank you. I think I will do.